We missed investing in you. So that's also part of the journey, right? In venture, you miss a few good ones. But anyway, that said, I thought, and the other good thing about this panel is no introductions. None of these folks require introductions, right? You know what they do. So I thought first thing, maybe I'll start with you, Sachin. Your own personal journey, and each one of you kind of give a little bit of your personal journey into Bangalore and what got you to this city and your early memories of this city.
Yeah. So Prashant, thanks a lot for the kind words. So I came to Bangalore in 2005 to live here. I got my kind of first job from my IT campus and joined a IT services company in Bangalore. And
which company was that?
That was a company started by this guy named Arjun Malhotra, TechSpan. And it was an interesting company of the time. And of course, it's not that it was the first time I was being to Bangalore. I came here as a child as well in the 1980s, late 80s. And I loved the city even then. So my early memories were very good. And of course, I remember I landed at the old airport at that time.
It was really a shed, better than it was an industrial shed. Yeah.
It was an industrial shed, and it was, but of course, much closer to the city.
I think, can you hear Sachin well?
Okay,
fine.
So yeah, and then came to Koramangala, landed in Koramangala, and I've lived in Koramangala since then.
So I also had a similar journey to Sachin. I think all of us IIT engineering grads have a very similar journey into Bangalore. So I came to Bangalore for my first job at Microsoft Research. And I know it speaks about how even 10, 15 years ago, Bangalore was the home of so many technology companies. And the emergence of Bangalore as the best place for technology companies to have their centers in. So I worked at Microsoft Research for 2 years in Bangalore. And then, interestingly, I moved out of Bangalore to Mumbai to start Ola. And then I moved back to Bangalore after 2 years. I was missing Bangalore so much. And in Mumbai, you can't really build a large technology company. There's not the ecosystem is not there. So I moved back to Bangalore in 2013 to really scale Ola. And from 2013 onwards, I've been here. And when I used to work at Microsoft, I used to live in Malleshwaram and in the old part of town, and very nice idli, vada shops there. The real Bangalore, yeah, the real Bangalore.
Malleshwaram is where the current deputy CM is from.
Yes. So I spent 2 very nice years there. And then when I moved back, you had to be where Sachin was. So I moved to Koramangala.
So my journey is a little bit different. I had gone to study to the US, and I had worked in the US for a little bit. And Musicma got started out of Chicago. But we clearly needed, India to scale what we were thinking about doing. And we had a choice of cities. Bangalore was easy choice for us. To me, a large extent was, the biggest reason for that was the mentorship that was available in Bangalore. Prashant, you know this. When I came here as a 28-year-old kid, so I interacted with Prashant and Shubhruto, who had just been entrepreneurs, and they were looking to invest and think about working with young entrepreneurs. So the whole fund scene was not yet there. It was pre-fund, but...
there was no venture fund in Bangalore.
There was no venture fund. So it was nice to come, and we put our, I think my journey in Bangalore is very similar to Bangalore itself. We started from Infantry Road, moved to Dickinson Road. From there, moved to EGL, which is near Domlur, and then now we are in Whitefield. So we've been growing with Bangalore. So.
Thanks. Hari.
I had 2 stints actually. I came into Bangalore first in 1990. Joined a company called TVS Electronics at that time. I had actually moved in from Mumbai, where I was working. That was about 4 years, and during that time, actually, I still remember. I used to work in the Tumkur factory of theirs. So every morning we used to take a bus and go, and you come back in the evening. there were no phones at that time. So we didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have it. Actually, we applied for a landline, and it took about 8 months for us to get that. So when you come back from Tumkur, nobody bothers you after that. So you can really enjoy Bangalore at that time. It was really, really fantastic. Then I moved out with Wipro and moved to a couple of places, and then came back again in '97 with a company called PlanetAsia.com, which was part of the Michael and Group, and pretty much been there since then.
Thanks, Hari. So now I'll kind of talk about the key ingredients that make Bangalore what it is, right? So I think we are maybe now the true melting pot of India, right? I think Mumbai was the melting pot at one time, and you had a little bit of West Gujaratis in Mumbai and a few Southerners, the southern part of Mumbai. But I think Bangalore is this unique melting pot where you have people as much from the eastern part of India in the service sector here and few sectors as from the north and south and west. So do you think it's really that aggregation of talent that makes it unique, Dheeraj?
So for me, I think it's all about the people. I think we are here because of what people like Infosys and Wipro did. And we are standing on their shoulders, frankly. The weather does play a big role. And also the people of Bangalore overall are quite a welcoming crowd. The general people of Bangalore, there is, if you look at other states, there's a stronger perspective towards native and everything like that, which does not allow for melting pot behavior to happen. The people of Bangalore have to be given a lot of credit. The culture of Bangalore has to be given a lot of credit for the fact that it is naturally a welcoming city. I think without that we wouldn't be where we are. The combination of the giants who built the big shoulders on which we can stand on, and the combination of the welcoming nature of the people. I think on top of that, we are building all of these nice things.
So you worked in Amazon, Sajjan. I think a lot of internationalization of the city happened. Like the tech, the early tech fabric came from Infosys and some of the giants, Wipros, who built it. What do you think these GICs, these global innovation centers, brought to this city?
Yeah, no, I think of course, early seeds of technology, entrepreneurship, etc., has been sold by Infosys, and then later on by other companies in the IT services sector. But truly, I think the next step was taken by the global innovation companies, right? When the Silicon Valley started looking at global markets or global places to go and expand for lower cost of operations while maintaining the talent quality very high. The only place they could find in any of the world at the time was actually Bangalore, right? China had the engineers, but they had a language issue. Bangalore was kind of the sweetest spot because of the background that it had in the past, right? So I feel that that laid the foundation, and then on top of that, for example, just to give a sense, right? So I was working for a 50-member team in Amazon back in 2006, 2007. 10 startups came out of that team.
Wow, 10 startups just from that one group.
From that one team, and some of them are very, very well known, right? So I would say that those, and then Yahoo created startups and early startup employees who joined companies like Flipkart, and then Google had an influence as well. Microsoft also created, of course, Bhavish had worked in Microsoft before. So I think global innovation company centers actually did play a role significantly, and also they created the culture of product innovation,
right,
which was kind of missing in this ecosystem, right? And they said, okay, how does product building a product different from delivering services, and that DNA was brought in from there.
How much was that product DNA important, you think? What you saw in Microsoft and later in Ola?
So I'll answer that, but I would have loved to add to the previous question also. And I think Bangalore has a very proud legacy of building upon waves of talent development and waves of people development, and that points to the city's very inclusive culture. Like if you go back to the HAL, the ISRO, you know, right from there to the IT revolution that got built on top of that talent layer, to the MNCs setting up their global innovation centers, to product companies like ours emerging, to the future where, you know, if there is one city in India which is best suited to develop the talent required for technologies of the future, like deep tech or data science, machine learning, AI, it has to be Bangalore, right? So this is something which I believe, you know, as a society which has vested interests in Bangalore, we should actually nurture and preserve and systemically nurture. And you know, that has been definitely one of the strengths which stand outs for Bangalore vis-a-vis a Mumbai or a Delhi or a Chennai or elsewhere, right? And that's what attracted us also here. Yeah.
So I think, you know, Hari, do you think that, I know that there's a lot of attrition, I mean, there's a lot of, there's easy access to talent and you're able to scale talent here. But what do you see as the work culture in the city? And is that, is there something less, I mean, a little bit to be desired? Is there enough commitment that you see in folks to the to the company they work for? We found a little bit of challenge. I mean, that's one complaint I hear. You can build a team fast in Bangalore and you can lose a team fast in Bangalore. But do you have found any such challenge here?
I don't think so right now. But I must tell you, when I was here in the early 90s, and I used to also come here, you know, from college because we had people in ISC and, you know, stuff like that. Bangalore used to be such a lazy city. I don't think people started work before 10 o'clock, 10:30. And they used to be back home by, you know, 5:30. So that, but I think that's changed over a period of time. I think it's got so much of, so many people coming from outside, and it's got MNCs. So culturally, I think there's a change. So I don't think that's been a challenge at all. And I just want to add to the earlier questions, and you know, tech, talent, all that is absolutely given. But I think three great things of this place that attracts a lot of people. One is the great weather. Yeah. Second is, I think it's a very safe city relatively, right? Today people talk about a bit of crime here and there, but it's a lot safer than what you see outside, and that allows a whole lot of people to go out, you know, be in pubs, you know, in the night. And third is music. You know, after Chennai, you know, I think Bangalore is the other place that, you know, that's become so, you know, so good. You find most of these even retro rock bands, I think a lot of them used to choose Bangalore as a place. I remember there used to be a organization called DNA. They used to do some events. Yeah. And they used to get some great bands here. So music used to be another great thing here.
Do you see a lot of classical, I mean, this fusion stuff also in Bangalore?
Yeah. You know, for example, you know, one of the bands that I, you know, I like a lot, which is Carnatic rock. There's a band called Agam. You know, they're all from Bits Pilani, so they're good. Right. And they're all settled down in Bangalore. So they do so many shows here. I think all genre of music, I think, is starting to pick up here, and you can really, you know, but for this ban that started few months ago, I hope, you know, it, you know, people get over it. You know, it's been a great place for music.
I think, Sachin, Bangalore has also had this culture where a lot of entrepreneurship has come from guys in Flipkart and Ola and these other companies, right? So there's kind of this virtuous flywheel already in progress. Is that, you think is, I mean, you had, like you said, the first wave was the Infosys wave, and then you had Amazon and them produce founders here. So the current momentum of the city, you think, is largely because of what you guys built with Ola and Flipkart and some of these. I mean, that's where the founders, you think, are emanating from, and is that, you think, what has built a lot of momentum here?
I think definitely the city continues to be super attractive for anybody who wants to start up, right? Again, as Dheeraj mentioned, right, it's a very inclusive city. It is very, you feel at home. Anybody from any part of India feels at home here, right? And anywhere in India, somebody is thinking of starting up, Bangalore is an automatic choice for them. And because of the fact that you have mentors, you have early employees willing to join you without pay sometimes for an upside. You have investor ecosystem which exists over here. I think that ecosystem is kind of creating a flywheel which is taking the city forward. In fact, my personal example, right, after Flipkart, when I was starting Navi, I automatically chose Bangalore. I
Bangalore.
could have been anywhere
Correct.
in
correct.
India.
Yeah, thank you.
And the reason is because there is nothing that comes close to the ecosystem that exists over here. And there is, Mumbai doesn't come close, NCR doesn't come close yet. Although they're trying and they're catching up. Also, I think we should be careful. I mean, that the people are catching up, but I think we're still far ahead.
Dheeraj, lots of companies coming out of Musicma. How do you look at it? Are you?
I think it's quite wonderful. I think that's.
How many companies have started out of Musicma?
I think about 20 companies probably.
20?
Yeah, 20 companies out of Musicma. I think if you take the top 10 consumer internet companies, most of their head of analytics is a Musicman. So Sachin is smiling big time. Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing actually. In the beginning, I used to feel bad about that as a young entrepreneur because I was losing talent. And then as I was maturing personally, I understood that this is the burden of a pioneer. In a certain space, what Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Cognizant did to take an entire category of middle class to be brave enough to say that, okay, we can maybe venture out, and I'm probably from that category, to, I would say I am post-IT services, pre-venture capital. So I'm in that bracket of people. So I actually put my own money, which looks silly nowadays, to start the company. But it also works in some other ways.
Sachin is doing that these days.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of money. But he's got like a little bit more money now. So, but the perspective of we at Bangalore are going through the same startup problem that a startup is going through, which is that we started up, product market fit is there. It's wonderful, but we have scaling issues. And we have some sort of a scarcity mindset also. Now we have something to lose. Before we had nothing to lose, but now we have something to lose. So now our mindset has moved from an abundance mindset to a scarcity mindset, where we think that we have to, talent is scarce and we have to get from each other. I think if we have to go to the next level, education has to be a big part of this ecosystem, and we have to create talent in abundance. And talent creation has to be a big part rather than just getting talent. So that's where I would see our path to scale, to going
That's
from
a
a
good
startup
point.
Bangalore to a scaling Bangalore.
You think there's a lot more investment that's required across the board for talent creation?
Absolutely, and I don't think we should be depending completely on the government alone to do that. I think it can be done through, through the private ecosystem. And government, we should take as little support from the government as possible, because if I think they are there to put guardrails for us, and if they put the guardrails, that's good enough. But we should do things, and we should go into their offices and take help from them as little as possible, and then do a lot of things in the private space.
Great. Thank you. Thanks. Hari, Bangalore is also getting this nice kind of positioning as a great test market. You want to launch a product, you want to launch a new product that is this mass aspirational product, which is a sweet spot that everybody wants to go after. People launch it here. There's quick adoption. There's very quick, proof. How much of that translates to rest of India, and what's been your experience? And I mean, you kind of stayed in Bangalore for quite a while before you scaled. So what's similar in other cities, and how much does Bangalore now reflect the rest of India, and how much does it not reflect rest of India?
No, actually, Bangalore that way is very, very different, from that perspective, because we get tremendous amount of early adoption, and that's what actually helps you fine-tune product, fine-tune offerings, fine-tune service, as you go along. So we stayed in Bangalore for quite a while. Even now, when we launch a new service, we choose to launch in Bangalore, because you need people to adopt fast, because otherwise you don't get quick feedback. Bangalore has continued to be our largest city, but of course, as a proportion to other cities, it's coming down as a percentage because other cities are scaling up also now. But you're absolutely right. I think everything that we do new, we do first, we launch in Bangalore, because we've just got the right set of people, right set of customers to come and try products and give us feedback.
Bhavesh, any experience on launching stuff here and taking to?
Yes, definitely. I fully share the thoughts. Bangalore is, I think across the larger cities of India, the youngest city, the city which has the most vibrant youth population, and everybody's a techie. So the adoption curve is very fast here. So if you really want to test your product at scale and do it quickly, there's no place like Bangalore. And hence we've seen what happens in general is in new technology-driven spaces, the business which wins Bangalore actually wins the country, because you've tested your product in a fairly scaled-up way. So for us also, when we were growing, we had said, okay, we have to do Bangalore well, even though we were based out of Mumbai back then. And even now, when we start many of our new initiatives, we focus on Bangalore, because the customers here are tough, and it's an open field. There are a lot of startups offering their wares here. So Bangalore is, by that yardstick, I think one of the most great test markets for any technology business.
Great. Sachin, this idea of founders funding founders, right? So I think that's another, I think a very vibrant angel ecosystem also creates a city. Where would you rate Bangalore's early angel ecosystem, both from a capital and mentoring? Do you think you've seen it grow, of course, but is there still a lot of room compared to what one experiences in the valley or other places?
I think I agree. I think firstly, the answer is yes. I think there is still some way to go, but we have made significant progress, right? So a few years ago, this kind of thing will be completely impossible, right? So firstly, people did not have exits as well. But even they did not invest in startups as much. Startup funding mostly came from outside of the country. But I think it's an early start of creating a local funding ecosystem for our startups also, which has just started happening. But still far away from where we are. I mean, for example, China today is almost self-sufficient in its funding needs.
Yes.
They don't look at the US mostly for funding needs. In fact, US money is competing with Chinese money and losing most of times. Chinese money is now going out of China and coming to India and other countries, and they are investing in technology startups all over the world.
Had people like Chris actually invest into venture funds here and start that in this country.
Yeah, but I think a lot more has to be done. Mr. Premji does some bit of that as well. And Nandan Nilekani does a bit of that as well. So I think it's good, but I think we are far from being self-sufficient in our funding needs. When the day we would have arrived would be when our money is not just sufficient for the Indian technology
but we can
needs,
fund companies.
but we are going and investing in companies in the US, in China, and other places as well.
What do you think, Bhavesh?
See, I think this the ecosystem is evolving very well in the right direction. In fact, there's an example right here. Sachin has supported Ola in our journey, right? And it's a a lot of startups that came after Flipkart look up to Flipkart as an inspiration, and Sachin himself as an inspiration. But like Sachin said, I absolutely agree. The day we will feel satisfied is when Indian money is funding Indian entrepreneurs and actually funding opportunities outside of India, maybe in US, maybe in China, maybe in newer geographies, right? So, and we can see the VC ecosystem in India evolving quickly. We can see the angel ecosystem in India evolving quickly, and all the vectors are in the right direction. It just, all of us would like it to get accelerated even more.
Great, thanks. Dheeraj, you spoke about talent, the need to create a little bit more talent. So what do you think are some of the things that can be done, you think, to accelerate and solidify our position in talent? And even in that, I know you have some nice thoughts about how you need to disrupt the current model of education, especially engineering education and science education. Maybe you can share a few thoughts on that.
Sure. I think the key issue that we all face is that we look at um, funding to be one of the biggest parts of company building. I think the reality, however, is that the funding to a large extent is money chasing, time. And talent is time chasing money. So the world is divided between money chasing time and time chasing money. And I do think that we have to go, into an ecosystem where the differentiating factor between companies is actually time chasing money, where you're basically looking at talent in a very big way. And if you have to look at that, then I think the bucket of people who are spending time between 18 and 22, post primary education, secondary education, and graduating, I think that segment of people, there's an abundance of mindset and skill sets in that segment which goes untapped. They are learning from textbooks. And by the very nature of the fact that they are learning from textbooks, they are learning from problem spaces that have been documented many, many years ago. The problem spaces of today are less, teach you a lot more. So the ability for an 18-year-old to walk into a Musigma or an Ola or a Flipkart and be part of that ecosystem while studying and getting a degree. I completely agree that all of us need degrees. Our middle class mentality will need us to have degrees, right? That's fine. But while doing that, can the 18-year-old participate in corporations? And can we do that at scale? And if we can do that at scale, what would that mean for India? And can Bangalore lead the way in doing that? That's how I would, I've been trying to get this to work. It's been quite hard. But whoever gets this to work will make a big difference.
Sachin, your thoughts on that? You think that's a doable, practical thing to kind of change the way 18 to 22-year-old, that period is today looked at both by universities, colleges, and kind of rethink? I mean, he has one idea, but I think there's multiple ways you can rethink that time, right?
Yeah. No, I agree, I think, with Dheeraj. I think the underlying technology, the exposure that our kids get today in childhood is way more than what they used to get earlier, right? So, of course, the education system is still was designed many, many years ago, and it continues to be the way it is. And I think definitely things can improve, and we can change those, the way we think about education. And education on the job is becoming more and more important as well. I mean, we as a company in Flipkart and now in the new startup, we are investing behind educating people regularly. And college education is not enough.
Not enough, yeah.
Things change so fast.
Yeah, so can you embed these people earlier on?
Yeah. Because college education is not going to be enough. So why are you spending that time just, why don't you start applying your skills at the same time?
Yeah.
Can be done, but I think it needs like a fundamental rethought, rethinking of kind of the whole system, which can be tried.
So in that sense, it's very different from in ISB or Ashoka or anything. This is fundamentally a different paradigm. It's kind of, it's like a collaborative university, right? Between corporate and academia. So it's not just...
No, I agree. I think, and also if you talk to any college kid who graduated, and they will say, everybody will say that in the first couple of years of the job is when they really learned a lot more than what they learned in college. So I think definitely more time spent in corporate world solving real problems could be helpful for
Any thoughts, Hari?
Yeah, I must, talk about this. Just a couple of days back, I was in my alma mater in Pilani, right? I'm going there after 10 years, and I was there 40 years ago, right? And frankly, the quality of kids that we saw there now, from what I've seen even 10 years ago and what I've seen earlier, it's just very, very different. Outstanding, bright.
So you're saying they were much smarter than you were.
They're so exposed. And the point I was trying to get to is that, few of us there, literally got, gheraud those 3 days because they were so eager to know what's happening outside. And there's nobody who goes to Pilani, the government funding is not there for private universities, research is, terrible actually. So that whole ecosystem is got bubbling kids and so little exposure, right? And so 3 days we spent there, practically the whole day, I've missed all the fun that guys are having, was just talking to these children and telling them what's happening outside of that desert. And they just die to get there. And they just get there only once for a practice school program for 6 months. And that's when they really start learning. So I really think that, a lot more of that needs to happen. I almost told the VC, why don't you just shift Pilani to Bangalore, yeah? Because the point is it's so far, nobody wants to go there. And it's still one of the, best universities that are around. So I think I completely agree with that,
So the quality of talent is only improving, even in colleges. But the difference between what talent is available and what challenge we have is increasing. So the challenge space is increasing faster than the talent space. So the difference between challenge and talent is what we are trying to fill.
Right.
And you cannot fill it by staying away from challenge. You have to stay near challenge, to improve talent.
Got it. Bhavesh, deep tech is an area that we think still there is a gap in this city, and there are multiple areas of deep tech. You're in EV, and one area of deep tech, certain aspects of EV, and we in India have a gap in certain technologies related to EV. What are some of the impediments where some of this is not happening in this country, and where can Bangalore, some of it is, of course, electronics and technologies where China has kind of done a few things which we may never be able to catch up, but what else can be done on this deep tech space?
See, I think if you look back a little bit to answer this question, right? 10 years ago, we used to debate, India doesn't have enough product talent. India doesn't have enough product technology talent. We have a lot of IT services talent. But we found a solution. It's not there fully yet, but it is evolving, it is scaling up, it can scale up faster. Right? Even with deep tech, I think the raw talent is there. The number of people required is there. The missing link is linking business opportunity to talent, which, like Dheeraj said, challenge to talent or money to talent, right? I think that's the layer which is missing, the right business models, the right entrepreneurs to go deep and go aggressive into that kind of business opportunity, be it for India or global. I think one of the biggest opportunities we have in India is actually building for the world markets. Indian talent can go global, Indian products and software products can go global better than probably other competitors of ours in China or elsewhere, right? So the talent is there, entrepreneurial effort is required to link business opportunity and capital to the talent. And we have to do it in a way which is faster than how we've done previous generations of such talent building, right? The product talent got created, but got created a little slower. If we have to take a global lead in this, we have to look 10 years out and then partner with government, partner with academic institutions, industry should collaborate and create that kind of a talent pool. Right? In the product evolution, the industry didn't collaborate as much. I mean, the emergence of Flipkarts and Olas and Musicmas, etc., created the talent, but organically. Right? Maybe we all can come together along with the government, along with academics on a national scale to create this talent.
Great. I think you can't, so we have maybe last few minutes. You can't have a session in Bangalore and not crib about some of the problems with the city, right? So what's your pet Bangalore peeve, Dheeraj? It'll all be the same thing, but anyway.
Why is Whitefield so far off? I mean, they should have put Whitefield a little bit closer to everybody. No, I think, see, Indian talent has proven, to the world that we have arrived with, like Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai. Talent, is world class and it is acknowledged by world. But ecosystem, Indian ecosystem is different from Indian talent. Indian ecosystem is interaction between all of the talent, all of the institutions, all of the, everything that happens in the environment. I think as an ecosystem, are we going to be world class? I think, one of the things that I get scared about is one Indian is wonderful, three Indians actually we start getting, dividing each other rather than multiplying each other. So this aspect of, what Sachin talked about is we have arrived when they recognize this ecosystem and say that, look, we want to get money from here, we want to get this ecosystem into our thing, and so on and so forth. I think that would be the biggest thing. I think, a big part of it is going to be solving the traffic problem. If I had one pet peeve, it is that how many meetings I cancel in the city because I just don't want to make it there and spend 3 hours going and coming. So that would be my pet peeve.
I think everybody's pet peeve here will be the traffic.
But I know
that's an opportunity for me.
It's an
right?
opportunity for you. That's what
I've converted my pet peeve into an opportunity, and we are nowhere near. Thank you. We are nowhere near solving it, and frankly, we can't do it alone. As an ecosystem, to Dheeraj's point, we have to come together to solve it.
So, Bhavesh, a few thoughts on what are a few things that you're the mobility guy here. So, what can be done? So, what are a few things that the city can do?
No, actually, the city is already doing some things. It has to scale up those initiatives, right? Shared mobility can be a massive enabler to reducing the number of vehicles on the roads. Bangalore has the country's best bus transit system. People in Bangalore don't realize it, but it's better than Mumbai, it's better than Delhi, it's better than Hyderabad or Chennai. But we have to take it to the next level. When we compare Bangalore's bus system to Beijing's bus system, it's not there. It's a 1/5 in terms of per capita buses to Beijing. So we have to, as a society, as people invested in Bangalore's success, think of the future paradigms, enable market-leading constructs. The government can build platforms where market forces can come to scale up these solutions. And as a population, I think Bangaloreans would adopt shared mobility in a massive way. Right.
Sachin, any pet peeve?
I think the same.
Any ideas, solutions?
Frankly, I think, I think we all can, of course.
So Metro, do you think Metro at some level will solve it?
Metro is amazing.
Metro is, you think, one big...
Wherever it is there and access is available, it's actually solved problem for many, many people. Access to cheap, high quality, timely travel, I think is amazing. I think Metro can be scaled up a lot more faster than what it is being. I think instead of building roads, we should try to get that accelerated if we can. Right. That will reduce the distance and make the city smaller for people, right? So I think that's one. But apart from that, I would say I think buses is something that I would also agree with Bhavesh. I think allowing private bus operators instead of just public bus operators. I think Ola can do a great job of running buses if it's allowed to do that. So that's something that will be game changer for the city.
Hari?
Well, I think from a solution standpoint, what I think is missing in Bangalore is that I don't think there is enough empowerment given to the urban development piece. What's happening, I think, is, and what I mean is not the ministry or not the government, but getting some expertise in and letting that expertise actually work on their own. I'm saying this because, let me say this. I've seen Delhi Metro getting built in very close quarters. I really think that, what happened, Dr. Sridharan, who actually happens to be my father-in-law,
Sridhar? Oh, that's...
So I have seen him building that thing in close quarters. What made the difference is that he was completely empowered, right? And if that wouldn't be the case, it wouldn't have happened in the pace and the speed at which, the whole thing worked. And the biggest reason was that. And what we're missing here in Bangalore is, some expert who's brought in here and empowered completely and who looks at it holistically, right? You got to look at the metro, you got to look at the transport system, you got to look at the way, flyovers are built, the way roads are built, and all this, I believe can be looked at holistically by a team. The team is empowered completely to actually run that whole piece. I think this place can change. But if that doesn't happen, I suspect that we will have this problem for a long time to come. And this is something that I've heard from himself, that he's come a couple of times, seen what's happening, gone back, and believes that there is no single agency that's really doing this.
Hari, just maybe a related question. There's a lot of talk about maybe the need for another kind of sister city in Karnataka. You know, it could be Belgaum, Mysore, Mangalore. What are your thoughts? I mean,
Yeah, I agree, because I think Bangalore, all said and done, is also bursting from its seams, right? So there's so many people coming here. Unless the weather starts deteriorating, that's not going to stop. So I think you need to build a couple of sister cities. We already have a few of them which we can actually build, but I don't think enough is done to really bring them to some level that's happened to NCR, for example. You know, there are 3-4 cities that are, you know, that are there in one place. Yeah, absolutely.
Sachin, will you think of maybe having some talent in another city, easily accessible from Bangalore? Would that be something that you would consider?
I think we should look at, we don't have to look far, right? We can just look at China, what they have done. Their big cities, how they have created a whole ecosystem around those cities. They're just creating mega clusters of cities. I think that's something that can be done over here. And if you provide fast connectivity in and out of Bangalore to those cities,
get the connectivity to happen.
I think it will feel like one city for everyone.
Bhavesh, any thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree with Sachin. You know, today, instead of making only sister cities which are 1,000 kilometers apart, you know, it's a era of clusters and urban agglomerations. And if you look at the US, the Silicon Valley is not one city; it's a bunch of towns which are interlinked economy. If you look at Europe, it's evolving like that. China is actually the world leader in this space. The Beijing area, the Shanghai area, the Shenzhen area, right? And you know, in India, Bangalore can become that leader which builds the future technology companies and ecosystems in a broader area, which could include Mysore, which could include Tumkur.
Bangalore, yeah. That's I think this is a big takeaway from this thing. Any last thoughts there? We have 1 minute.
No, I think it's. I would actually go the other way around. As far as cities are concerned, I would make Bangalore have higher density of interactions, because if you look at the innovation ecosystems, they are highly dense. The more you spread it, the more you put friction for interactions to take place. Anything and everything that removes a friction for interaction should be taken out. If it's traffic, take it out. If it is mindset, take it out. If it is geography, take it out. I feel, you know, we should go more dense, and we should not try to, you know, spread the little that we have even before it scales to the next level. So,
Okay, I think, thank you, Hari, thank you, Sachin, thank you, Bhavesh, thank you. I think this is amazing. So, big round of applause for this. I think really wide-ranging discussions from, you know, solving traffic problems to, you know, founders founding other companies and, you know, the great things that make the city what it is. Thank you. It's been my pleasure to host this panel. Thank you.
For the last 10 years, I have visited as a honorary consul, a diplomat, this event. But this year, this event is superb, one of the best events I have ever seen during the last 10 years. And last year, about 6 to 8 months back, there was an event in Rwanda, IT BT event, and the central minister also, and about 100 delegates from India visited Rwanda. The connectivity between Rwanda and India, Rwanda and Karnataka, it has been developed. The business also has been developed. Many engineers from Karnataka has gone to Rwanda after getting training. Rwandese students also getting trained in Infosys, Wipro and all, and they are serving all over the world. And also they are serving in startups, startup companies, startup training center in Rwanda and here. And this event, one speciality, they have also started a special division for IT startup, which I have participated this morning by the employment department, and it is a very good initiative by government of Karnataka to encourage the startups in IT field.
Bangalore Tech Summit 2019 is the biggest tech summit that Karnataka has organized. Bangalore being the IT capital, the BT capital, the startup capital, the entire industry, the academia and students have come together to conduct this event. The reason for the government to organize this is we need to create a common platform where all of us can come together and talk about what innovations are happening, how those innovations can convert to business, how those businesses can create jobs, and how we can take this development to the rest of Karnataka. This is an excellent platform for us to discuss, debate and showcase to the rest of the world how Bangalore and Karnataka has become and will continue to lead in the tech space. Currently, the tech sector employs about 4 million, that is 40 lakh people across the country, and out of that, about 10 lakh people are in Karnataka. Over the next 5 years, this can actually double to 20 lakh people. Imagine 20 lakh people employed by the tech sector in Karnataka. And this is what the opportunity is. We need to work together, that is the government, the industry, the academia, to ensure that this benefit comes to the state, and we must retain our leadership position in the tech industry. Today, 40% of the exports from the country happen from Karnataka. So we have a leadership position. We are the #1 startup location in the country, and we must leverage this. So this event allows us to actually strategize, discuss, debate and attract others to come to Bangalore, because we are showcasing the capabilities of Bangalore. So others to come and invest in Bangalore and Karnataka.
And it's always exciting to be here at the Bengaluru Tech Summit, but this year I must say it is so much bigger and so much more vibrant. The sessions are even more exciting, and really it's about connecting with the world. So I think the kind of discussions, the kind of topics that we have really chosen and curated for this year's Tech Summit is something everybody can participate in. And I think everyone who attends Tech Summit will realize why it is a must-attend event. And I'm sure that the events in the future are only going to get bigger and much more global in their stature. So come to Bengaluru Tech Summit. Don't miss this event for anything, because you will meet the brightest minds and the most exciting ideas.
So I'm very happy to be here at the 22nd edition of the Bangalore Tech Summit. As many of you know, it was originally called BangalorIT.com, and then we also had Bangalore Bio, which has been running also for about 18-19 years. So about 3 years back, there was a decision made to combine both the IT and the Bio conferences into one. And I think what we are seeing today, in the third time we are offering this joint IT Bio conference, is a nice convergence of these technologies and how it can have impact in various sectors of the economy, both from the point of view of industry and also development. So I think this is a fantastic gathering today, and clearly, as we heard in the inaugural sessions as well, this is a very unique conference that celebrates the city of Bangalore as the major technology hub of India, which is contributing so much to the profile of India as a technology innovation center. I'm a professor at the Indian Institute of Science and an entrepreneur, and this connection between academic research, translation and commercialization is what makes Bangalore very unique even in the Indian context.
The Bangalore Tech Summit is in its 22nd edition. So this, what started out as a very small event, now has become the iconic event for Southeast Asia. The event brings together both the information technology industry, the GICs, the biotechnology industries, and in the most recent times, the startup industry. Karnataka is blessed with three major ingredients. One, a culture that really fosters and encourages entrepreneurship in our state. The second part is the availability of risk capital. This is home to some of the best venture funds in the country. There is no venture fund that is present in India that probably does not have a presence in Bangalore. And finally, the proactive support from the government. We have had traditionally a very proactive, caring and visionary support from the government. Now, all this has made Karnataka among the top startup hubs in the country. Recently, the government said we need to think more bold, we need to think more audaciously, we need to set new benchmarks. What can we do? So there are 2-3 initiatives that the government is taking up. One is that there's going to be a new regulatory initiative that is going to make it easier for startups to operate in Karnataka and work with within the framework of a new regulatory sandbox, which will be announced by the Deputy Chief Minister, by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Wednesday. Stay tuned for that. The second initiative is the formation of the Startup Vision Group, which brings together 18 entrepreneurs who have significantly contributed to building great unicorns, building deep domain companies in the city. With the support of these startup entrepreneurs, the Vision Group will strengthen some of the existing programs that the state government already has. For example, Elevate, a successful program, but we think we can do more. Deep tech is an area that we believe Bangalore should focus more on. We are thinking, can we have an Elevate just focused on deep tech? We have many centers of excellence. Can we strengthen these centers of excellence, and can we build new centers of excellence for areas like cybersecurity, blockchain, and so on? And finally, entrepreneurship has to be democratized even more in our state. It need not be limited to the top 3 cities in our state. So we need to take it to the hinterlands, and I think the Startup Vision Group will play a key role in taking some of the startup culture and some of the startup initiatives to a greater part of Karnataka. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would request all of you to kindly take your seats. The Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Ashwath Narayan is here, and all the dignitaries. So I would request you to kindly clear the space in front of the stage, please. It's my pleasure now to request the dignitaries to kindly come over. First of all, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, Dr. Ashwath Narayan. I would request Dr. Ashwath Narayan to kindly come over. I would also request Mr. Timo Haraka, Minister of Employment, Ministry of Economy and Employment, Government of Finland, to kindly come over. I would request Shri Chris Gopalakrishnan, the Chairperson of the Vision Group on Information Technology, to kindly come over. Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary, and also Shri Prashant Mishra, the Director of IT BT. I would request all the dignitaries to kindly come over. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a very fruitful panel discussion prior to the start of the awards presentation. And all in all of us are indeed inspired by the achievements, and definitely the motivation levels are pretty high. And in days to come, there will be several more such illustrious personalities who will do great service to the state, to the country, and serving the entire world. Before we start the presentation of Bengaluru Impact Awards, I would request all of you to kindly sit back, relax for a couple of minutes, and let's watch the video about what exactly is Bengaluru Impact Awards. Video, please. Well, it's indeed my privilege and pleasure now to request the dignitaries on the dais to present the Bengaluru Impact Awards. First of all, I would like to call upon Shri Bhavish Agarwal, co-founder and CEO of Ola. Please put your hands together for Mr. Bhavish Agarwal, the co-founder of Ola Cabs, and the Bengaluru Impact Award is going to be presented to him for his formidable success as a visionary startup founder who went on to achieve the unicorn status for Ola Cabs. The co-founder of Ola, one of the world's largest ride-sharing platforms and India's most popular mobile app for transportation. He started Ola in 2010 with Ankit Bhatt, a fellow illuminous from the IIT Mumbai. Several awards and recognitions have followed Mr. Bhavish Agarwal. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all once again give a huge round of applause and congratulate Mr. Bhavish Agarwal. Congratulations, sir. I would now request Mr. Dheeraj Rajaram, founder of Musicma, to kindly come over. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dheeraj Rajaram, the founder in Musicma, for his formidable success as a visionary startup founder who went on to achieve the unicorn status for Musicma. India's first profitable unicorn, he founded Musicma in 2004. Over the last 15 years has been recognized by the industry. And indeed, we take pride in his achievements as a Bengaluru-based thought leader and his conviction towards creating innovative impact. Congratulations, Mr. Dheeraj Rajaram, the founder of Musicma. Through the Bengaluru Impact Awards, we would like to celebrate leaders like him who have mentored, supported, and further enhanced the spirit of Bengaluru's ecosystem. I would now request Mr. Hari Menon, the co-founder and CEO of Big Basket. Mr. Hari Menon, the co-founder of Big Basket, formidable success as a visionary startup founder who went on to achieve the unicorn status for Big Basket in 2019. Congratulations to Mr. Hari Menon. Yeah. Before you leave, a couple of words, sir. I would also like to call upon the other awardees first. You kindly speak for your views and reactions for the award.
All I can say is thank you so much for giving us this award. It's been a long journey. 2011 is when we started, and it feels good to make sure that all the ladies and women at home are happy with what we do, because we try and deliver fresh produce to them every day. So thank you so much.
I would request Mr. Bhavish Agarwal to kindly come back once and say a few words. It's actually the demand from the huge turnout of spectators. Let the visionaries also speak. Yes or no? Yeah. So Mr. Bhavish, kindly come back. Sorry for the trouble. Yeah.
I was not warned that I have to say a few words, but I would like to thank everybody for the award. And like in the panel we were discussing, Bangalore is the future of India in terms of new age technologies. So it's very exciting to see this event, the support the government is giving to this, and we hope that it can go really far and encourage a lot more entrepreneurship in the future. Thank you.
That was indeed short and sweet, just the way we get Ola in just a few seconds. Thank you, sir. I would request Mr. Dheeraj Rajaram, the founder of Musicma, to say a few words.
The biggest reward for all of us, just the opportunity to make a difference and express ourselves. These awards are good, but every day getting to do what we do, I don't think that anything can beat that. So tremendously appreciate you guys encouraging us. And if you can help us do what we do faster, better, more, there's nothing more than that you could help us with. Thanks again.
Thank you. I now request Sri Nandan Reddy, the co-founder of Swiggy, to kindly come over. Well, Swiggy, you call up, but you don't want to clap. Ladies and gentlemen, what a crowd. Yeah. A visionary startup founder who went on to achieve the unicorn status for Swiggy. He's the co-founder, India's leading on-demand delivery platform. A serial entrepreneur, Nandan has co-founded 2 companies prior to Swiggy, Zarna, a 40-seater Hyderabadi restaurant, and Galla, a tablet-based POS system for restaurants. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us should take great pride in his achievements as a Bengaluru-based thought leader and his conviction towards creating innovative impact, and we wish him every success in his journey. Congratulations, Mr. Reddy.
Yeah, thank you so much for the honor. It's great receiving the award. Me and Harsha moved to Bangalore, I think, close to around 6 years back, and the only city that we had in mind while moving was saying that we have to do a startup outside Bangalore. It's going to be really difficult sort of doing it in any other city. So I think it speaks volumes about the startup ecosystem here. So, and I'd like to thank basically all the giants who built, let's say, startups before us for us to be in this place right now. Again, I'd like to thank all our delivery partners, restaurants, and our customers for us having got here. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mr. Nandan Reddy. And now, Mr. Naveen Tiwari, CEO and co-founder of InMobile. He's not there. He has sent his message and thanking for the award. The award will be sent to him later on. I would now request Mr. Pranay Shule, the founder and CEO of Quaker, to kindly come over. Congratulations to Naveen, and the award will be sent to him. Mr. Pranay. Mr. Pranay Shule, founder and CEO of Quaker. And now I would request Mr. Sachin Bansal, the ex-chairman and co-founder of Flipkart, for his formidable success as a visionary startup. Sachin Bansal, in fact, degree in computer science in IIT Delhi, and thereafter he rewrote history for his formidable success as a visionary startup founder who went on to achieve the unicorn status for Flipkart. So congratulations, as through the Bengaluru Impact Awards, we would like to celebrate his award. Mr. Bansal.
Thanks a lot for the award. It's highly encouraging. And of course, I mean, I stand here not just for myself, for efforts of thousands of people who put in their hard work, believed in the vision that was set, and gave their valuable time and choose to join ventures and take risk. And of course, a lot of times it ends up in rewards, but sometimes not so much as well, but that's part of the game. And of course, I mean, in another 3 years, I'll be more of a Bangalorean than Punjabi, because that's where I was born. And I love the city, and I am looking forward to contributing more to it in the next coming decades. I believe it's a great city. It's poised for global success, showing the way to other countries, other developing countries and other cities to follow. And I'm looking forward to being part of the ecosystem here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's give a huge round of applause in unison once again for all the Bengaluru impact, and definitely with their source of motivation, the role model personalities, there will be several more such entrepreneurs who will go on to make their name and carve a niche for themselves in history. We would like to thank the dignitaries. Before that, I would request the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister to kindly release elevate the status of what exactly, how many achievements have gone through they've reached the stage of elevate. So please put your hands together for this all-important book, which gives us an insight with the tremendous support of Government of Karnataka. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are all here in few thousands, but millions and millions of people will know about what's happening here through the print and electronic media and the social media. So as per the request of our friends from the print and electronic media, we would like to give some more trouble for the Bengaluru Impact Award winners. I would request the award winners to kindly come back for a photograph for the sake of media, but most of them have left. So, yeah, they have left. So, sorry for that. Whoever is present, at least we request them to kindly come back. I know they will be short of time. Mr. Menon and Mr. Reddy, we request you to kindly come back. Due to paucity of time, the other award winners have left, but we have Mr. Menon, fortunately for us, Mr. Reddy. So those of you who forgot to applaud earlier and some of you who are entering now, your opportunity for you to appreciate, because they are role models. Their stories need to be told to the society, to your children, to your relatives, so that at least one of them will progress and give jobs, become an entrepreneur wherein several families will be pretty happy. Thank you very much. I would now request the dignitaries to kindly take the seats in the front. I would only request now, since we are having the valedictory address by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister.
ಒಂದು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಜನ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಶ್ರಮ, ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೂಗಾಟ, ಕಿರ್ಚಾಟ, ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪರದೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಏನು ನೀವು ನಿರ್ದೇಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕಿರುಚಿತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ದೂರದರ್ಶನ ಚಂದನ ವಾಹಿನಿಯವರು ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಿರುಚಿತ್ರಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೆಡಿ ರೋಲ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡೋ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ www.ddchandana.gov.in ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನಮಗೆ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ddshortfilm2019 gmail.com. ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಡೆ ದಿನ 28 ನವೆಂಬರ್. ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅರ್ಜಿನ? ರೆಡಿ, ರೋಲ್, ಆಕ್ಷನ್.
ಕರುನಾಡ ಮೂಲೆ ಮೂಲೆಗಳಿಂದ ಹರಿದು ಬರುತ್ತಿರುವ ನಾದ ಜರಿಗಳ ಮಿಲನ, ದೂರದರ್ಶನದ ಗಾನಚಂದನ.
ಮೆಲೋಡಿನೂ ಹಾಡು ಬಲ್ಲೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರಬೇಕು.
ಹೃದಯ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಕಲಕಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ದ್ವೇಷದ ಬೆಂಕಿ ರೋಷ.
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ದು, ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಶ್ರುತಿನೂ ಬೇಕು.
ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ